Hello everyone, here is your explanation for assignment 1, the year plan. So basically there will always be, I'm just gonna grab my little, there'll always be a bit of a rationale for why I want you to be doing these assignments. So basically year plan is an essential process for teaching, right? It will ensure that you cover the curricular outcomes while maintaining a sense of direction. I always felt better once I had a year plan created so that I kind of knew what I was going to be doing with my class all year long. Okay, so the good thing is that once you have completed 1 year plan, the process is basically the same for all other subjects and other grades. Okay, so let's go down to the actual the assignment. So basically you're going to, this is a group project and you'll be working with your grade groups on this, your practicum grade groups. And what you're going to do is you're going to use the Alberta Program of Studies objectives. You're going to write out all the ELA objectives from your grade verbatim. Then you're going to choose 5 units specifically to fulfill language arts objectives. Then the fun part here is you're going to also choose 2 integrated units to fulfill the integrated objectives, and you can use LA, social studies, science, and math. You can also, if you want, use music, art, phys ed as well. Okay, so just writing out those objectives, that's 20%. What you're then going to do is you are going to then connect the ELA Program of Studies objectives to each unit. So if you have a unit that is 15 to 20 days, only have about 10 objectives so that you can actually fulfill those objectives. If you have a 20 to 35 day unit, then you can go into that 15 to 18 objectives. If you look through your year plan and you have 45 objectives for a 20-day unit, there's no way you're actually going to be able to fulfill those. Okay, and include social studies, science, art, music, or math objectives for the 2 integrated units. You don't have to include all these subjects, but put in at least 2. Okay. This is the key, this letter C here. Choose only the objectives that fit the best to the unit. So there are going to be lots of units that you could fulfill objectives through, but you want to find, it's kind of like multiple choice tests answers. You want to pick the best objectives in there. Okay, then you're going to include daily work, you're going to include program work, units, and a timeline that will best fulfill the objective. Okay, then you're going to use your practicum experience as a basis for choosing units. So feel free to actually talk to your practicum teacher about what units he or she is using for this particular grade. Now, I'm going to put a caveat in here. I kind of know where you're at in understanding of ELA units and daily work. And so you kind of just have to go for it and take a stab at it, because once you kind of get a sense of the year plan, it makes all of the unit and the lesson planning make sense. Okay, so the part B of this assignment is you're going to actually put your units on an actual real calendar. So I want you to use the actual, and I put it on Blackboard, is I want you to actually use the 2021-2022 school year calendar and place your units on the calendar. Be mindful of holidays, PD days, days when learning might be effective. You're probably not going to get a ton done on Halloween or that week before Christmas, so just keep those in mind. When you're putting units on this assignment, try to finish before you go on a major holiday so that you're not coming back and finishing a unit up after spring break when the kids might have forgotten the details of it. Okay, so this is going to be due pretty quick, September 20th. You're going to have, it's the year plan template, then the school calendar, and then the project team plan, which is basically just to make sure that everybody in the group is doing something. Okay, here is the assignment. Again, basically what is listed above. I'm looking for a real authentic connection between the program of studies objectives and language arts. Okay, And that's kind of self-explanatory. These will be your grade groups. So Mariana and Caitlin, I know that you're in kindergarten, but I'd like you to use the grade 1 program of studies because it's the kindergarten program of studies is quite different. So I want you to have that experience. So these will be your grade groups. So these are the people who you will be working with. Formatting for the assignment. So references at the bottom, and I'm going to show you a template, is they do not have to be an APA format. I know what is happening to the world, but it doesn't have to be an APA. But do document all your program of studies with the following. So just basically put Alberta government. Whoa, that is not what I meant to do. Okay, well, there we go. There we are now on, I'm actually going to go back here. There we go. Put Alberta government, learn Alberta program of studies, English language arts, and then put the website. Or if it's social studies, whatever one, just put it in this format. When you are writing out the objectives, basically, I want you to think about the purpose of the objectives. The purpose for unifying how you record your objectives is so that you can actually find these objectives easily if you have to go back and reference them. You will really appreciate a unified way of dealing with these objectives. Unfortunately, at this point, the program of studies, as we'll talk about, are not unified in how they're written out. So each time you use, so if you use ELA, program of studies, write it out like this. If you use social studies, we want you to write it out with these numbers and then the verbatim from the program of studies. Here's science, math. It's not rocket science, you just have to follow it. It's a lot like APA formatting. It's not rocket science, you just want to follow the format. This is not the time to be creative, just format it the way that we have it listed here. Okay, so there's art, music, and phys ed. Okay, so let's now take a look at some of the other things that are on Blackboard under assignment 1. So you have the year plan template. I'm just going to actually show you this here. This is what you will actually fill out for me. So this is not, you are not going to be handing me in a 50-page paper. This should be about 10 pages. And what it is you will write out all the objectives in the program of studies down the side here. And then you will put some daily work, program work, and I'm going to talk about this, your units across the top, and then those integrated units. So that's the template when you look on Blackboard. I'm going to go back here and I'm going to go, this is under assignments on the side. Sorry, click here. I'm going to just show you a year plan exemplar so you kind of know what's going to be happening. So this is what your actual assignment is going to look like. So here you are, you will have all of the objectives from the program of studies written out down the sides. I've put a caveat across. This is an exemplar of grade 4. You'll need to fill in all the bulleted outcomes all the way through. Then you put in your daily work, your program work, possible units that you might do, and then some integrated. You'll see that assessment is grayed out. You don't have to fill in assessment this year because you'll fill that out after you have your course with Colleen A on assessment. Okay, basically then what you're doing is you're just, like I said, you're lining up your objectives with what you think will be the best way to teach those objectives. So if you think that doing through the podcast, you can fulfill compare new ideas, information, experiences to prior knowledge and experiences, then all you do is put an X. At this point, you don't do anything else with this assignment. This is the year plan. We get more specific in unit and then really specific in lesson, but this is what the unit plan will look like. Okay, I think those are all of the, sorry, I keep going to the wrong one. Those are all the other things that are under assignment 1. There's the actual 76 calendar. Here's that group work plan that I alluded to. And here is just a basic calendar example. You don't have to use this exemplar. Actually, let's just look at it. This is where you're actually going to write, like you're going to put, I'm going to do fractured fairy tales on these days. And then you would put, you know, fractured fairy tales here kind of thing. Yeah, fractured. Whoa, that's not where I wanted. But you know, it will come over here. Fractured, there we go. Fractured fairy tales. You are welcome to use this calendar, but you don't have to use this one if it is not kind of in your zone. Okay, hopefully that gives you an idea of assignment 1. Enjoy.